And we're live. Welcome to the Foolish Tech Show, presented by Foolish IT. If you don't know us, you'll get to know us soon enough here. Today, I have an interesting topic to cover, and eventually it's gonna be what's going to replace the live chat. But we're gonna go over setting up an IRC server, Internet Relay Chat server, on a Ubuntu Linux server, and then how to set up Apache and a CGI to interface with that. And eventually that's what we're going to have for our live chat, so that you can use IRC to connect to it, and we'll just leave it running and you can chat with us in there, and we may have some other channels and do some things with that. So good show.
That
And
is a very good topic, Brantley. I want to commend you on that, and I think this is going to be very informative, of course, for a wide variety of people. Plus, yeah, the whole crew needs to know, or the whole community out there will need to know how to get in touch with us moving forward. So, what are we server-wise? Where are we running this? Where are we going to be hosting this on?
Well, we'll end up running it on one of our servers, but for right now, I'm just going to set it up locally.
Okay,
So
to give everyone an example. Yeah.
So we
Good,
don't have
good.
to go over all the ins and outs of how we set up our server.
I didn't know if we were using ours as the example or not, but yeah, that makes sense. we probably shouldn't.
Hold on a second. I'm reading over a ticket that Michael said.
Oh, yeah, thank you. That might be pass that on to Nick if you think that's relevant. I just thought it's right. It seemed like right in line with the stuff we were talking about for usability enhancements. And it's it's specifically defunct. And I generally think that's a good idea.
So, and this kind of plays along, like Nick wanted to have all of those folders scanned all at once.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of talked him out of it because I, like, the time loading the registry and everything right now is a little bit consuming. So to do what he's asking there, he's just asking if we can have the folders on the left side, or the registry entries, show up in colors as if.
So I see what you're saying, and that's going to force you to scan them all when you first start. Yeah.
That'll make it so that it has to scan all of those at the startup. And
I gotcha. So I'll respond back to them and let them know that that's our position on it. Yeah.
Really, the idea is that you are supposed to click each one and find out what's in there, and if you need to look into any of it. And that is part of it, is that we don't want to have you having to scan the entire drive beforehand, because that's going to take a long time, and it doesn't give you that quick go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for explaining that. Okay, that's good. I'm glad that was at least thought about, though, because if that wasn't the case, then that suggestion would have been, I think, very useful. But yeah, now I see what you're saying. It's not possible to do with the way we've implemented it, but we've done it for a reason, for speed. So yeah, okay. I think that's a good way to respond as well, because it's it's a concession to performance. We thought the process through, which we usually do for everything. But I always try to pass on suggestions, because if Nick, for instance, isn't in getting his ideas as quickly, we can always supplement that otherwise. So anyway, I'll shut up. Continue with your beautiful show.
It is a interesting suggestion, but yeah, the speed performance hit that it would take to be able to do that just wouldn't be worth it. Mm-hmm. And I kind of like clicking on things and finding I have nothing to do there. So.
Well, if everyone would watch this video, yeah, I think they'd be on the same page with you. But I can understand why it was requested.
Yeah. But like the points he made, where I was like, that's good. There shouldn't be anything in here. There's no good reason any file should be here. It's like those ones, like the scan barely takes any time anyway. So just clicking on it, finding about the scan, maybe those we could have some color coloring on and like have it so that it's just grayed out if there's nothing in there. But
Okay, so
it's like
we'll consider it. Yeah.
how do you decide how much time and where to stop is the problem there. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that the way it is now is probably the best way, just because
Okay.
it doesn't slow you down and it
As,
lets you
as long as it's a conscious decision and I can accurately explain to them what our feeling, what our rationalization for that is. So yeah, okay, great, thanks.
some.
Oh, I'm so exhausted today.
We have an MM in the chat that's asking if anyone is around today. No, I know. Don't even say anything.
Okay, yeah, you do know. Okay.
Anyway, I so we're live now. So if he does have any questions or they have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. We'll go over them from there. But otherwise, we'll go ahead and get started on our overview today, because this does take a little bit of time, and I have some explainings I want to do there. So the first thing I did was I downloaded Ubuntu Server 14.04.3, the server edition, and I'm posting that link in the chat. We'll have that in the YouTube notes after the show gets posted here. But we'll go ahead and share my screen so you can see it here. And essentially, I've gone ahead and downloaded it and went through the install. And for the install, I just did basically your default options, setting up a user and.
Are we supposed to be seeing something? Oh, there you are. Okay.
So just went through the default options, set up Ubuntu server, and then I did apt-get update, apt-get upgrade, so that everything is up to date and upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
I know the screen size is a little small here, so what we're going to do is use a Putty interface so that we can make the font a little bit bigger. But essentially, this server is running in VirtualBox and running in the background. We're just using Putty to connect to it, which that was one of the options I chose, was to install the open SSH server so that I can just straight away connect to it with Putty. I mean, I wouldn't even have to use this window at all. Once the server's set up, I could just log right into it with Putty and work away.
And if people aren't familiar with what Putty is, it's essentially it's a SSH or telnet interface for Windows. It's probably one of the more common ones used in the Windows environment, but there are equivalent tools in all distributions.
It's actually I've been watching the Hack 5 seasons. They have 19 seasons out.
Really? Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive.
They're an awesome show. They're the people that make the Wi-Fi pineapple and this awesome field kit that I have that I'm showing off and you can't see.
We talked about it another day, but yeah, it's I
didn't have it in hand before.
Oh, look at that!
Such good stuff in there.
Very good stuff.
Stuff in there.
Hell, I'm still loving the turtle, the land turtle. So, and this is one piece in that kit, and it's worth every penny, frankly. I would say that's I'm impressed with that.
I've only done a little research into the turtle. I'm researching and loving the pineapples so much, though.
Well, yeah, I'd like to. Let me talk to me when you get into the turtle a little bit more, because I have a question about something specific on that. So.
Yeah, for that turtle, it sounds like you probably want to have a Kali Linux box running on your network, just so you can point that stuff
to to that one.
So
yeah, gotcha.
that way.
And why did you suggest Kali?
It's the upgrade to Backtrack and the new standard and penetration testing.
Okay.
Kali Linux is what it's called. Um, anyway, so we'll get back on to our server setup here. But yeah, they were using Putty back in season 1, even, I think. So season 1 or season 2, they were talking about it. So it's been around a long, long time, even long before season 1 or season 2 of Hack 5. Great SSH client, does everything you need it to do. And actually, it looks like we got NetHunter watching, and he just wanted to throw out there, for the turtle, use OpenDNS clouds.
OpenDNS clouds, great. Thank you.
All right, so I put the link to download Putty in there. Also, again, we'll add that in the YouTube links there. But I got logged in, and what we're going to be doing is essentially following this setup guide. And I want to say this setup guide, yeah, this is from 2012, so it's a little bit outdated. Some of the things are a little different here, but I think I got most of those things worked out here. But I posted the link to the guide that we're going to be following here. And essentially what we want to get done first is set up an IRC server. And if you don't know what that is, it's a internet relay chat. It's like one of the oldest standards on the internet for chatting and having channels to chat and talk about and do everything in. Very, very, very powerful setup, lots of options, different things you can use as clients to connect to it, and makes it pretty easy to chat over the internet. So the first thing we have to do is install our chat server. And to do that, we're going to do sudo apt-get /hybrid. So yes, we'll go ahead and install those. And yes, we'll upgrade it. And then we want to go in and edit the config or the message of the day for it. So you could add in whatever you want. This is basically IRC server. I keep saying my mic is muted, but it's not. So oh well.
It was for a second there.
Huh? Weird.
Yeah, like I did. Like the last thing you said was, I was about to say was not. Missed it.
The message of the day server, or message of the day, is what you'll edit, and this is the first thing you'll see in the IRC server when you log into it. And we'll just put some stuff in here.
Dude, you're like muted. You're talking.
And right now.
Huh? Oh.
We just heard what? If you were talking, we couldn't hear it.
No, you were
I
totally
wasn't
silent.
talking.
Oh. Well, okay.
I'm just editing the MOT.
Oh, my bad.
I'm just going to add that simple one in. I actually have a nicer one coming up here, so we'll go over that when we have it here. Yeah, hey, yes, and finally a real chat server. This is a real chat server that you're in right now, but this will be easier for us to maintain and work with for various reasons. But all right, so we got the message of the day edited, and now the next step in that link is to create a super secret password. So we're gonna do this, and this is a special one for the chat server. It's not for the same MKPASSWD that changes your password for your Linux login. This is for the chat server. And yeah, actually, HexChat was going to be the client I was going to use on mine, but we'll get into that later here. Stop jumping ahead.
Darn net hunter.
Yeah. So the next thing we do after we make that super secret password is we go in and edit the configuration for this. And I had to do a little bit of a change from what they have in this thing here. And I'll go over that once we get in here. So this is how you edit.
You're done again. Muted.
What the hell, Hangouts?
Is it telling you that every time? So you better pay attention though.
Yeah, it's popping up and doing the little ding thing. Let me make sure my recording is set right. Alright, don't do it again, Hangouts. I swear. I swear. Anyway, so we want to change the name of this to the name of our server, or you can put in if you have or a host name if you have an actual resolvable host name. But since I don't, we're just going to put the local one, and we're only going to be working on with this with the local net. So
Your crap is cropping out constantly, dude. You're gonna. This is not good.
let me try changing the battery here.
Because this is a great episode, I think, for the content, and we just need to make it audible for everyone.
All right. Yell at me again if it does it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, this is great content. I just want everybody to be able to hear it, you know. So,
I don't. They can read.
well, you know what you were saying up there about the server name, we virtually couldn't hear, and for most of that, and you seem to be fine now, though. That's good.
Yeah. So basically, the server name, I don't have a DNS result.
It happened again.
Yeah, I see that.
You don't have a DNS resolver, is what I think you were saying.
Hold on, let me jump out and come back in.
Okay. So, folks, just a brief pause while we take care of a technical glitch with our microphone, and we'll pick up getting connected and getting your IRC server set up and running and connected to it with maybe HexChat, possibly. That'd be cool. And if no one set up Ubuntu before, this would be a great time to download your copy. Get that going. Save us some time.
Alright, let's test and see if this works now.
I hope so, because I don't like it when Michael talks. He's weird.
Well, the funny thing is, I was doing that session was going through Firefox, which has been working perfect in Hangouts up until now, apparently, when I've been doing all the rest of today in the Office chat in Google Chrome. So now I've joined Chrome. Let's see if it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're also formatting and reloading sometimes is recommended. Sorry, that's an inside joke, guys.
No, it should be recommended. And it probably is about time. I only formatted and reloaded to 10 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So anyway, let's try the server name again. I don't have a domain that's resolvable on the internet, so I'm just using the local host name here. And maybe it was keywords that it was blocking me out on. I don't know.
Nick, NetHunter wants you to talk to him if that's feasible. He's complaining about your lack of your being incommunicado with him, and he thinks you don't like your gift.
Oh, no, I do like it.
And Nick isn't very communicative because he's working on the new version of Kill 'Em All, so we try to keep him focused. Alright, so you don't need to do anything else there. These vhosts are commented out already, which was another suggestion in that link there. Max clients, it appears the default's already being changed to 512, so you don't have to change anything there. You can change the size of how long people can have their nicknames, topic links, and change the admin here. Like so. These are the user things. You can change how many times they can connect from a specific IP. We're going to leave most of this stuff at default, though. I didn't really see any problems with any of the rest of the stuff in here, I don't think. I'm going to be listening on port 6665 through 6666, 6669. And these are commented out, so we don't have to worry about those. I do want to change the user so that any user can log in. So we'll just have that at any user. We could add a password here. Could do encryption. We're not going to do any of those. And let's see.
What? No encryption? No encryption? What?
It is extremely difficult to set up encryption on Linux.
What? What?
Especially when they don't say anything about it.
An open, just a wide open IRC server, huh? Uh-huh.
We're not going to be having any kind of sensitive info in there, so.
It's a wide open chat right now.
You should probably change the port to NetHunter's recommendation because we don't want to limit people from being able to connect.
Actually, that's part of that setup is using a IRC bouncer to change that port, so that's what we were going to go with.
Ah, gotcha.
I did have some issues in my test run setting up that, but we're going to see if doing it differently works better. I think everything else is good there.
Yeah, we can also make the IRC saying we could also make the IRC on SSL, so that would take care of the encryption part of it.
Yeah, but we're not doing that.
Okay. Awesome sauce. Just keep going, man. You're doing great. I really love this. I'm digging
we
it.
have all the comp set up, so now we're going to need to restart it since we changed the configuration. like that. And now is the next part, but technically we should be able to fire up a chat client and connect to it. So let's take that HexChat that we had mentioned earlier, and we are going to try to connect to it. I'll put the link to download HexChat in the public chat, and then you can download that. I'll also have the link in the YouTube notes later, but I've already got our server set up here. I just put in the IP address and the port that it's going to connect to. None of your other information is needed. I also have my nickname set up, and we're going to go ahead and connect. Connection refused. So I think that's because I should actually have this as the host name that I put in there. Let's try that one. Alright, so it was a unresolvable name, which I kind of figured it might be. So we'll go back and just put in the IP address here. Escape. Say. Yeah, I know how to ping it. If it didn't find it, though, it's not going to find it here. So we're just going to go with
Ping it.
IP address. So.
Ping it. We want to see ping. If you're going to be working on the command line here in Linux, you absolutely need to ping.
I'm not going to ping itself from the command line. That doesn't make any sense.
Ping it from your Windows box. Yeah, you're right. Not from there, but yeah. Open up a Windows command prompt.
Oh. And looky there, our message of the day.
Yay!
And we're connected in the Foolish channel. So awesome, that works.
Yeah, me too. NetHunter, we're ready for next year as well.
So now we have a IRC server running on our local network. I did test this on another computer and I can connect to it fine, so that's awesome, works great, amazing. So our next thing is going to be setting up that IRC Relay that NetHunter was talking about. So it's an IRC bouncer, sorry. This will basically make it so that you can log into the IRC, but it ports you to this other one. And actually, I had some trouble doing it, and I didn't like it. So I want to see if we can actually just do this. If we can just do the port forwarding, I think that will make it work. So this way you can log in using the default IRC port if you want to go straight in, or you'll have an option to log in through port 443. And to do that, we're going to do git install run td. Then sudo etc/inetd.conf. And go down.
Do you not like hitting tab to complete your commands? I mean, why are you typing so much?
I don't, because I don't like hitting tab. 3, 2, 127. Oh, number lock's not on. It really hates that.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, it did not like me pushing number lock in there either. Put that one. And 2. Insert, edit. 92.168, 42.14, and port 6667. So what that's essentially doing is it's taking anything that comes in on port 443 and forwarding it to port 667, which is where our IRC is, and we're going to write and quit, and then we have to restart that since we changed its config. There, are you happy? Tapped it. So now you should be able to go in and do another
Point,
one.
NetHunter. Why the hell aren't you using Nano?
I would be using Vi, but I've gotten used to using Vim, so there's all kinds of ones.
Yeah.
Do whatever. You can use whatever you want to edit it.
That's true.
I'm not going to stop you.
Hmm.
3.
Package.
How it's called. Awesome. Yep, so that's how it's called. So now we should be able to connect here. Using port 443 as well as the original one. And we can. So we're on both 443, so people in lockdown situations like NetHunter will be able to do it, and 6667, so your standard IRC clients are already set up to connect. So we got those set up and ready, so that's awesome. Awesome possums. The next thing I'm going to do, because I found out we'll need this later, is we're going to install Identd Server. And to do that, we just do our sudo git install oloi identd. And that does some things or something and works, so you just have to have it installed. That's what I found. And I found how to install it from this server, or from this link here, which I'll post in the chat as well. And we already got the client set up. We can connect to both of them. So the next part we want to do is install a web server so that we can load up a CIG page to connect to it, which is going to be what ends up replacing our chat. So if you go
Hey,
to
dyslexia, CGI.
Yeah, CGI. So if you go to our site, foolishit.com/live, in the future, we'll end up having a link that you can click on to join, and it'll take you right to the page and connect you to the server and be able to chat with us directly here. But since we don't have Apache on the server already, we're going to go ahead and install it. So that's sudo apt-get install Apache 2. Yes. And that goes through and installs a whole lot of hoo-ha. And then we're going to go in and set the data so that everything is on the local one and set correctly. To do that, we change owner board www-data /www/ oh, we can do that. Sudo g+s/var w HTML dash. Nope, we don't need a dash R there. And then sudo change mod o minus wrx/var www.html var. Alright, and then we need to edit the config file for Apache. So we're going to do sudo vim gtc Apache. I want to say it's Apache. Yep. So this is our general Apache config file, and I don't think we do actually have to change anything in here. I just want to make sure. You can change some logs and ports and who's and what's and nots. And correct, we don't have to change anything in this one. That one. What we do need to change is the site, but that'll come later, so we'll come back to that. This is what we'll need to do now, which is install CGI support. And to do that, we'll do sudo apt-get install lib apache 2-mod curl, and yes, install all of that. Yeah, and we are pretty much gonna set it up on a virtual server here. I'm just doing it on a local server to test out here, NetHunter. I know you weren't here for the beginning to hear that, but that's what we plan to do. But now that we have Perl installed, we're going to create a directory for our CGIs. That is sudo make dir /home or var www, and then CGI dash not Bing bin. There we go. And now we want to edit our page, and that's going to be sites enabled. Yeah, I think it's 0 default. So this is where our default site is. Right now, if we actually went to .192.168.42.14, get our default page here. So we do have Apache up and running, so that's great, working, yoo-ha. But we need to add something to enable the CGI, and we need to add script alias CGI-bin / and point it to our directory we just created. And then give it a little bit more information here. And I'm not even sure what all these things mean. I'm just adding them because I'm following directions here. Directory. And we will escape, quit, this. And I think the other thing we need to do is enable the mod API. Okay. And we see we got that error about the server name. That's what I wanted to add into that global page. And we edited that here. So if we just come in here and add in you won't get that message anymore. And we want to restart Apache service. Michael, why do you always leave during the middle of a show? Doesn't make any sense. Alright, so I got that CGI stuff from this page. I'll post in the chat here. And we'll move on to our installer bit here. And what we're using is CGI IRC, which you can get from this page. And we'll go ahead and install it here. And to install it, we're going to download it using wget. And let's see if I can get this typed in correctly. But leases/leases/cgi-irc-0.5.11.tar.gz. Perfect. Typed it in right the first time. Awesome. Then we need to tar extract. I need to double check how you extract. I'd say it's like XYZ something. Yeah. tar-xdzf. And our tar file. GI. You don't need to be leaving at all in the middle of the show. You should have gotten food before or after. Anyway, quit distracting me. So now we see we have our CGI files here, but those files actually need to be in the bin folder. So we're going to go ahead and go into this folder. Got our files here, so we are going to sudo copy I think we can do it like that. Maybe? No. We should go ahead and do the whole thing. So that is home-board-cgi. We want to copy it to our CGI bin folder. So that's www.cgi and -r. And now if we go to our CGI bin folder, ls, we got those files in there. I wanted to copy all of these to just the root of that, so we're going to do it this way maybe. Not very good with the command line copy yet. Ooh, let's do that. Now we got them in there. And let's see if we can just go to that page and it magically works. gi-bin/irc.cgi is what you're supposed to run there. Not found. It is there, so why is it not found here? I think it's because we have to change mod on those. So we're going to do our same change owner root www.data. So we want to do it with www.data. Do var/www r, so it gets all the files that are in there now. /var/www. Don't want to take away the X, so we're going to leave that. And let's see if our file is found now. Still getting a file not found. N is not found. Our page is found. So let's see if we can. What is that site name? It's not that. Maybe we need to restart. Alright, and this is where I did run into some trouble getting this part worked out with the CGI and where things are and how you're supposed to tell it and permissions and who's it's and what's not. So we're going to do a little cheat here and go back to our previous setup. We'll cancel that session. Close out of our machine here. And you can see I already had things set up here, so we're just going to restore that session. And we're going to launch it. so we got our machine restored here. Let's go ahead and putty back into it. And let's go look at those files because I know that's what I changed the biggest about. And so this is what I found ended up working. You had to have all of these things in there. So it was the script alias plus all of these. And now if we try loading that page, that's what we're supposed to get. So we get a login for it. We can log in there. Now we are in the foolish chat. And if we come over and launch our client, we can see right now we're logged in as guest. And if we go to the foolish chat, we got guest in there. And they can talk back and forth. When guests log in, they can change their nick with /nick. And you can just chat back and forth. So that is how we set up a IRC chat server. And let me go and make that change to the forwarding page because that is a big important part. And that was from this link. Not that link. This link. Because it will be nice for people to be able to sign in around firewalls because all the firewalls always have 443 excluded. And to do that, we just need to change this last letter here. Nope. So now it can be logged into both ways, and we have everything set up. So that is awesome. And we're all good to go there. So now we got an IRC server set up on our local. Johnny and I could sit here and chat back and forth in IRC and create our own channels and do all kinds of things. I got a lot more research to do on how to manage that IRC server and lock down a few things so that people can't just come in there and spam us randomly and do all kinds of stuff. So got a lot of stuff going on with that, but we should have that set up and replacing the chat on our site so that people can talk to us a little easier, and I'll probably stay logged into that all the time so I can talk to people all the time. So cool deals there, and that about hits our hour mark. Didn't have any questions in the chat there. Anybody have any questions or want to go over anything while we got a few more minutes here? Yeah, actually, NetHunter, all of those are services, so I wouldn't have to keep anything running. They would just all be running all the time. But I did used to use that screen command a lot, especially when I was using VirtualBox servers. I used to have a Linux server to run my virtual machines back at a different job I had, and I would use the screen to start up a VirtualBox headless, and then use screen to manage the different headless servers I had running and be able to access those. So That screen command is pretty nice. Yeah, so that's it. Hope everybody enjoyed learning how to set up a IRC server. We didn't really have anything to edit out on this one, so I think we'll be able to post it as soon as it processes. So if anybody wants to go back and look it over, they can.
Just don't mind the random microphone mutes.
And no, we're not going to do TeamSpeak or Mumbler. We're not going to be talking to people all the time. Like, we got real work to do. We can't be just chit-chatting all day with people on TeamSpeak. I know so many people that just waste half their day on TeamSpeak, just talking about nothing and listening to people talk about nothing. Chat is nice because it's non-intrusive and it has a record of what was said. I like those two things about it. What did you say, Tank?
So just the random microphone mutes, well, that had to be edited out, or not to mind them, rather.
Yeah, I don't know how to edit this out. I'd have to like go back and talk over myself, and then I'd sound weird for repeating things.
Overdub it.
So I think it was Firefox, so great, I can't use Firefox anymore. I wish these web browsers would just figure out their stuff. Or at least Hangouts. Because notice Hangouts started working with the sound and audio stuff at the same time that now I'm having trouble with Firefox working on sound and audio stuff, so.
Yeah.
Coincidence? Probably not. Later, Net Owner. Thanks for watching, man. Anyone else got anything they want to go over or talk about? We could talk about how awesome American Horror Story Hotel was. Did anyone else watch that? I did. It comes out on Wednesdays. Amazing show. This season's got Lady Gaga in it. Great, great, great show. Later again, Net Hunter. Also, another show that came to an end this week was Fear the Walking Dead. And so boring. So boring, the entire season.
They already ended that? I didn't even know it actually had been on TV yet.
Yeah. They, I want to say that was the season finale. Let me double check here.
All right. I don't keep up with things much, especially TV. So.
Yeah, they had the season up there, and yeah, it was only 6 episodes.
Oh.
So that was the last one for this season. The entire season up until the last episode was almost not worth watching at all. Lots of plot, lots of filler, lots of the last episode made up for everything, though. I think that was like they had a zombie horde attack a naval base, or not a naval base, but a American Reserve base or something like that. Anyway, I think it was probably the largest zombie horde that we've seen from Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead. So both of those shows, like, I think that was the largest horde they've had. Besides the very beginning of The Walking Dead, where he was in Atlanta. And even then, like, they didn't really show you the horde or it attacking. It was kind of just known to be. So, awesome ending to that series. And they started another one back up. What's it called? The Leftovers. I believe it's a HBO series. And it's like, they don't really tell you, but it basically is kind of taking the plot of the Revelations where all the people disappear. What's that called? There's
The tribulation.
Is that the tribulation? I thought it was something else.
The rapture.
The rapture. So like
that happens during the tribulation, and actually the rapture is not even in the Bible. That's like some 17th or 18th century made up stuff.
But that's where all the good people disappear and go to heaven, and the bad people or confused people are left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, like, basically the premise of the story is all of a sudden all of these people just disappear and nobody knows why, and you're following the people that were left over in the title of the show and how they deal with it and manage it and move on with their lives about it. I have to say, every episode in that show in the first season just left me like, what? Huh? What? Okay. Like, it left an impression on me with every episode, and the new season didn't stop that. It just continued it and made it even more like, what? Huh? So, can't wait to see where they take that season and that show altogether. The first season was a little bit depressing. Hopefully this season's not as depressing, but still highly recommended that show. And also the Walking Dead, the True series, is going to be coming back here soon. And gosh,
good, I just finished up the last season.
Awesome.
Yeah, I had to catch up from season 2.
Oh, that's a big jump.
Yeah, I had a lot of catching up I had to do.
When does the new one air here? Let's just see. On the 11th, so this Sunday. Awesome. Good job catching up just in the nick of time. So, October 11th, The Walking Dead returns. I guess that's why they ended the other series like the week before, so that's going to be awesome. Can't wait for that. And I think that's about our show. Unless anybody else has anything they want to talk about or go over. Michael still didn't make it back. He always leaves at the last half of the show. Does something. Proctor, how are you doing over there?
I'm good. I'm about ready to get some dinner.
Yeah, it is about that time. About the dinner's times.
Only another 3-4 more hours and we'll be done, Proctor.
Yeah. Only.
You're gonna have to go to dinner with me then.
Alright. That'll be fun. I'm sure that'll make for a good show.
Yeah.
Just don't give little Matthew any sugar.
Yeah.
I was going to bring him some cotton candy.
I definitely learned the hard way.
Yeah. You don't want to give him cotton candy.
Like, some cotton candy and, what else is terrible? I don't know, but some cotton candy and other sugary pixie sticks. There we go.
Well, I didn't know he wasn't supposed to have sugar, and we went out to dinner, and he was like, "Can you put some sugar in my tea?" And I was like, "All right, I'll put sweet and low in there." And the sweet and low wasn't sweet enough, so we used regular sugar, and he was bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
So that kindergarten Kool-Aid, 90% sugar. Yes.
If you want to give him cotton candy take, I'll just drop him off with you tonight so you can babysit.
Nice.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just give him the cotton candy when I hand him back to you tomorrow. I'm patient. I can wait.
Well, no, see, what he'll do then is Proctor will drop him off saying, okay, so Tank has a bag of cotton candy
That's
for you.
right.
Hang out with him. And then that
I'll
means
say, I'm sorry I left it at my mom's. We'll get it on the way back to your dad's house in the morning, and then he can eat it.
Then he's gonna. Can we go by there and get it?
Then
now?
all day he'll be like, "Are you gonna take me back to my dad yet?
Yeah.
He'll eat
Are we
it en
gonna go?
route,
Are
and
we
then.
What time are you
Yes.
gonna take me back?"
Mm-hmm.
Can't we just go now? Come on,
Yep.
let's go. Let's go. We should go now. I think it would be better if we got it now. It might go bad.
No, I'm gonna wait, and I'll bring him back about like 11:30, 12, full of cotton candy and maybe a Red Bull.
His heart would explode.
Not a full one, like a half, like a quarter of the tiny one. Just a
I
shot.
gave him a little packet of sugar, and he was like,
Yeah.
like talking like he said he was an alien, but we all think he meant zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, Proctor's gonna come home one day. There's gonna be lines of sugar and Dixie packs everywhere. Hi, Dad. Ah!
All right. Well, Nick, did you have any updates you wanted to shout out at the end of the show here?
Nope.
Okay.
How was Wyatt's game?
Man, he gets the he did like a touchdown, but I don't really know. I didn't talk to the coach or anything. I don't watch the boards and things, but I was watching him and he ran all the way and he got, I guess it was flag football, but he got tackled anyway, and like right at the end zone. I guess I couldn't really see if he was in it or not, but he was telling me he did the touchdown later, and I was like, oh great, because I really didn't think he had made it. But I was telling him how awesome it was that he made it that far, and he's like, "Yeah, I made the touchdown." And I was like, "Well, I thought you got taken down right before the line." And he's like, "Yeah, I did, but I threw the ball, so it's okay." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, good job."
So adorable.
Yeah, but it was fun.
See, that's my trouble. Is I would be like, dude, I don't think that's how that works, man. We're gonna have to practice this when you get home now.
Shoot,
Still
at my house
insane.
growing up, we
doesn't
practiced every sport we played all the time. Backyard baseball, backyard basketball, backyard football. Actually, it was side yard football. Same difference.
Yeah, no, I think your way is much better too, John, because you're just like, yay, we'll move on. All right. Well, I do want to say that I got to play around with the new Kill 'Em All that Nick's been working way hard on, and I like it. It is very nice. Some awesome new features coming. Great concepts. A few more tweaks to go, so keep working away, Nick, and we're all on edge about it. So good things coming. Good things coming.
I like it when you're quiet, when I see every day how they're coding, and it's and I've seen their progress being every day, visual progress, and I'm not looking at the code in the back end like Brantley is, but it is nice to see that. And I know we've had some people out there who have not thought we've kind of given up on things, but that is certainly the farthest thing from the case. And you'll be seeing the fruits of that very shortly, and you'll also, if you join us every day, you'll see him hard at work as well. So, please join us. Sorry.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we will go ahead and end the show. We'll post it on YouTube once everything processes. I'll throw some of those links in there, so if you didn't get a chance to join the live chat, you can see them in the YouTube description later. And everyone out there have a great weekend, and we will be back on Monday at 8 a.m. for our show then. So play around with some of our tools, products. Feel free to ask us any questions. We'll talk to you all then. Laters.
Laters.